perception of the reality, which is his perception. But I am suspect of the NAACP because they will take any little thing that they can and blow it up into a big racial incident, basically to get money, to be quite honest with you. And I have no problem with organizations that want to help and that get help for people of race or color, or even people with no race or color, or just organizations that help people. But organizations that have a history of division, that have a history of basically creating chaos for a gain, I got a problem with that. And of course, just me saying this, being a white man, being an Anglo-Saxon, German, Norwegian, with no Native American in me at all, and pure European blood, just by saying this, that I'm suspect when the NAACP is involved, I'm sure I'll be painted as a racist. And of course, even commenting on what's happening and using his own words, Mr. Belk, who I've never met him, so I have no idea, what he's all about. He looks like he's got an incredible resume. Looks like he's done a lot of things. Looks like he's a person of prominence. But what gets me is the NAACP. I'd like to have somebody from the NAACP come on my show on Wednesday nights. I've got some spots open. They can come on, and I want you guys to talk to me about it. Why is the NAACP? Are they quick to jump on the race card and create even more division? I'll tell you from experience, I've got friends, and I'm not going to be one of those guys that says, well, I got black friends. I got friends. I got people that I get along with of all races and colors and creeds and religious backgrounds. And what separates my friends from people that are associates who I get along with but probably don't count as friends, and then people that I don't hang out with, is the fact that, whether or not you're a dick or not. If you're a dick, I don't hang out with you. And here's a clue. There's a lot of people not of color, white people, I don't hang out with because they're dicks. When I grew up, I was taught to take people who they are, and you can't judge or you can't judge someone else just by who they are religiously or who they are as far as skin color or anything else. You got to take them one at a time. So I don't know. Me and this Belt guy might even get along. But I'd like to talk to him or somebody from the NAACP and say, what's the deal here? I just don't get, in his description of things that happened, I don't get anywhere in there where he says, what am I being detained for? He just didn't say anything. And I'm sure the Beverly Hills Police would have said, well, you meet the description of somebody who just robbed a bank. And he said, well, hey, I just came from over here. This is who I am. And maybe he said, I'm what reason do I have to rob a bank when I'm already rich? I mean, he's already well off. It sounds to me like he just clammed up and didn't say nothing, just let it roll, simply for this, to see how far it would go so he could use it to sensationalize what happened to him, that all cops are racist. And on that point, if all cops are racist and you can't trust them, then why on earth would you want to give up your guns? Why on earth would you be anti-Second Amendment, telling me that only cops should have guns, and then turn right around and throw cops under a bus saying that they're all racist? It just doesn't make any sense. I mean, the liberal mindset makes no sense to me at all. Give up your guns. Only cops should have guns. All cops are crooks. All cops are corrupt. Well, why on earth then would you not want to be armed? I don't get it. Absolutely don't get it. Let's get him off the Steve Marmol page. He's probably one of the top race baiters on Facebook right now. About every post and meme that he's had in the last 2 weeks has been, about race. And of course, he's a white guy, so he's got the whole, what do they call it, white guilt going on, I think. So he's going to He goes over the top. If you haven't liked his page, if you're a liberal or if you're out there and you're listening and you're a conservative, like his page. It's just got some great debate going on there. He's yet to ban me, which, I got respect for him for that because he hasn't banned me. And I've had some very spirited debates with some of the liberals on there. Of course, the liberal, just like my friends over at the Donner Party, they do the same thing. They'll have a conversation with you. They'll say something vague and then spend the next 90% of the reply, claiming that they won something, and then attacking you personally. According to the Donner Party, I've been shut up and slammed numerous times, but I've yet to remember any time that they've come out with any sort of substance which has disproven or even answered any questions that I've had. So it's kind of fun. It doesn't get my blood up, but it keeps me on my toes. Keeps me on my toes. For sure. But if anybody's listening out there right now from the NAACP, love to have you on the show. Hell, I'll even have you to the studio here, and you can come in and sit down next to me. We'll crack a beer open. Let's talk about it. Why is it that when things happen, it's taken to the extreme and basically made racial when it may or may not be racial? But I think it should be more about healing, and it should be more about understanding and education than the whole thing that all white people are bad and racism is still alive and strong in America. Because I don't see it. I really don't. And I'm not black, and I'll never understand. I get all those catchphrases. I get it. But when I'm on a police department that has minorities and women, and they're doing just as good or better than anybody else based on their own individual efforts, then that's what I'm seeing. When I was in the military, my unit here in Fort Hood was 70% black, and they were doing pretty good. Out of 8 gun crews, 6 of them had black chiefs, staff sergeants. My first sergeant was Hispanic. My gunnery sergeant, black. Platoon sergeant, black. So, didn't make any difference to me. I mean, they were either good leaders or they weren't good leaders. And for the most part, I had very good leaders. Went to war, 2nd Battalion, 3rd Field Artillery. 60% African American. Most of our leadership, black. First sergeant, black. Captain, the battery commander, was Italian. Of the 4 lieutenants we had, one of them was Hispanic. The others were from West Point. They're all white. I was white. I think when you get in an environment where people don't care about that, when people don't spend any time concentrating on that or using it as an excuse, then you don't have any racism. But as soon as somebody brings it up and starts putting people on the defensive, next thing you know, you can create chaos anywhere. It gets to me that the NAACP, to me, seems like it just creates chaos. Why create chaos? Why don't you do exactly what you say you're supposed to do and fight against it by, like Morgan Freeman says, stop talking about it. Stop using it as an excuse when you don't get something. Stop using it as an excuse when you want something. And white guys, stop using it as an excuse when you don't get something. Just get it. Get it on your own. Well, that's my rant for the morning. That'll get your Monday morning started, get you talking a little bit. Again, school started today in Texas. Make sure you are sent probably all over the United States in the next couple of weeks, either next week or it's already started weeks before. Be careful when you're driving to work. Be careful when you're driving around. Make sure that you pay attention to the kiddos, because we want them to get to school on time, and we don't want to start out the school year with a tragedy on your hands. So make sure that you watch what you're doing. Pay attention to the crossing guards. Stop when the school bus lights are, no matter how late you are. Leave early. Know that traffic's going to be a bear. know that there's going to be kids running around, and pay attention. Put the cell phone down. Don't text. Don't talk. Just pay attention. Get to where you're going safely. Make sure all the kids make it to school safely and all that kind of good stuff. Football season is upon us. This is the last week without football. We're already talking about college games. Thursday night is our first college game. I'll be watching that. And Friday, of course, I'll be in Waco, La Vega with the Hutto Hippos marching band as I start my 12th year as the voice of the Hippo Nation. And I'm pretty excited about that. And, of course, come Saturday, all day long. College football. I'll be in El Paso. Be probably watching the game in my room at night, in my hotel room, and then Sunday, be on a plane, be back here in time for Sunday night football. Actually, Sunday night I'll be at Inspire Pro Wrestling. I'll leave right from the airport and go right to Inspire Pro, so that'll be fun. I'm telling you guys, lots of stuff going on. Get out the front door, walk around a little bit, have fun. And again, listen to all of our shows this week on Armed Radio. That's starting tonight with Lino show, starting at 8 o'clock Eastern and 10 o'clock Eastern. Straight Talk with Matt Hazley. I'll be joining him most likely if I'm sober. Tuesday night, Valenistama comes on, 8 o'clock Eastern for Talk Time with Valenistama. Wednesday nights, and I forgot about it, but I'm going to mention it now, Suspense comes on, 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and it's an old-time radio show. It's produced locally. It's produced now with a lot of, and they've always got a great show. I like listening to that when I catch it, and you can reach all those on podcasts, by the way. They're all recorded and posted up in Spreaker. And then, of course, you've got my show on the air with Mike Allen starts at 10 p.m. Central Standard Time and goes to all the way through to midnight. And this week we'll have Niall Chavez of Belts of Honorius, Enlightened Warriors talking about Belts of Honorius 8, which will be out in El Paso this weekend. Plus Cowboy Nate will be live in studio as we break down the 2014 football season. That's not to be missed. That's Wednesday night starting at 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thursday night, Valenistama returns for Talk Time with Val. And then right after her show, the man, the myth, the legend, the Star Maker. Night Talk with Joe Rocks with this 96 co-hosts will be live on Armed Radio Global. It's a great show. It's a lot of fun to listen to. I listen to it every night when I come back from class. I'm listening to Joe's show. And then, of course, Friday night, we round out the week with some more Straight Talk with Matt Hazley to take us into the weekend. First weekend of football. It's here. It's finally here. That's what I'm talking about. I'm ready for it. Are you ready for it? I think you are. Well, thanks for joining me this morning. I had a good time. Got all the nose boogers out of my nose during the course of the show. Dust down here in the Armed Radio Global Studios in Central Texas. Deep in the heart of the Hippo Nation. Have a great week. I'll see you next Monday morning, 6 a.m. Central Standard Time, right here on Armed Radio Global.